But we got a special guest in the building, gang. We got Tammy in here. All right, so y'all, I'm gonna play the track she about to work on. We about to just start working for real.
She did try to call me. Is everything all right?
Yeah. We got Reese in the building.
Reese! What's up,
Yeah.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
That's so cold.
Yo. This is stupid.
Yo, that's so cold, man.
Can't look at my heart.
She wrote this off Voicey, yo. That's what's crazy.
Yes.
She wrote
Words
this off
came
Voicey.
right to me as soon as I heard it.
Hey, we in here.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
Sing it exactly like that again.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
Sing.
First of all, don't try to psych my mind and hype me up. Sing at the same time. That's how you know he playing.
No, you're doing an amazing job for real.
Thanks.
And I commend you because you pressing through. Imani asking questions that stressed out people ask.
Stressed out and sleepy people.
You said don't sing that. That ain't what we told you don't sing.
Oh,
Oh.
all these daggone new
It's
things.
new thing.
Bring that old thing back.
It's new thing.
I'm glad I get to see this because this is the real, honey.
Now it was good for me that I was afflicted. Hit me hard and I kept on ticking. They dug ditches, but I didn't go under. I'm back bigger, better than before. I couldn't.
That mug can sing, y'all.
Good God. Oh, my
Jess.
goodness.
Jess.
Oh, Jesus.
We ain't never heard this before, y'all. That's number one.
Me that I was afflicted. Hit me hard and I kept on ticking. They dug ditches.
That was beautiful. The exact same way.
I'm back bigger, better than before. I couldn't understand what they had against me. I was supposed to keep going. My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Understand what they had against me, but the Lord made it work for me.
But that was good.
It
different.
was.
That was good. Different. Yes, sir. One more time.
Got this.
It's the way she going with it is
I can't
crazy.
do that.
I can't even describe it. I've never
like
heard.
It's like a pulse.
Let me tell you something though, y'all.
Like, I don't.
The thing about Tammy that is so crazy is there's no other. I've never heard Tammy's voice before. You know how some people can sing, but
Absolutely.
yes,
It's amazing.
yes.
The Lord made it work for me. They meant it for my bad, but it turned around and made it good. He's doing the new thing.
That's it.
Guys, we can't make this up, guys.
Y'all
Y'all here
heard
in the
it.
studio with
Y'all
us.
heard it.
Y'all sitting right in here with us. We can't make this up.
Praise be unto our
Y'all, we
God.
having fun though. Tammy is insane.
I am having fun with you guys.
This is crazy.
He's doing the yeah. He's doing the he's doing the yeah. He's doing the new thing. I'm so glad that he's doing the a new thing.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Tank Bangin'. I have recently done a collaboration with my brother and my sister, ROJAY and Shiy, for a dope hoodie that simply says, simple makes sense. If you don't get it, keep reading it, it'll come to you. So if you like the sound of that, please go over to their website. That is rojayxshy.com. Go purchase that hoodie today. To talk about tank season.
Huh? What was?
My volume. Did all of that and I ain't got no volume.
Oh, they can't hear us.
Oh.
Oh, can y'all hear us now?
And now.
Two.
I need to get my headphones.
Two. Can y'all hear us? Yo, what's goody?
Come on, say something.
Y'all let us know. Josh, what's up? Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? Let us know. Tank got to thank everybody again.
I know.
Start over, Tank.
I stated that I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to Band Edition last night. It was a great success.
Yeah, it was epic.
And to the musicians that were there, oh, Lord have mercy.
Incredible. It was unreal how good they all were, including you, Tank.
Oh, man, look, I was blessed to be in a great position to listen even more.
Yeah.
Which, I got from some of my older OGs in the game, realizing that just because your main instrument is being played doesn't mean you're not capable of playing the other instrument you're good at playing.
Yeah.
So to have the seat to see everything from my percussion chair was
yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely.
That's dope.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
It was great. You know, it was the number one thing.
What's that?
I did not walk out sweaty. Oh, glory.
Oh, yeah, that's fire.
Woo, I was dry.
Yeah, that's true.
I was dry. Now, granted, had it been a show, probably would be different. But
yeah.
Considering we had time to kind of stop and talk and figure things out.
Yeah.
Rest in between.
Yeah, it was good. It was epic.
But it was dope. I want to definitely shout out to you, man. Just being the dynamic leader that you are.
I appreciate that, Tank.
You know, you've come a long way.
Yeah, this is real life. Tank been watching me since I was. Yeah, that's how it's been.
Yeah,
it's just been, but it's better versions of ourselves.
Man, look
over
here.
time.
Look here, got to be better. Boy, better is what we strive for.
Yeah, we strive to be better. Yo, but you want your food?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so you want to have a short live and then eat, or eat while we live? No, I got to get my food too. I ain't gonna lie. Tank got food too. We gonna wait. We gonna talk to Tank because this is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna eat on y'all like that because all three of us will be eating. That ain't right.
I ain't eating.
Tank ain't gonna eat, but he definitely got food.
Did I?
Brittany Monche, what's goody? Brittany, you enjoyed the Band Edition, didn't you?
Hey,
Josh, you still in here? I tried to say hey to you earlier, but the sound went on, y'all. We discombobulated. We have not recovered from last night, to be honest.
I ain't studying Brittany.
Why? Cause she didn't come yesterday?
No, she called me sir.
Tank is sick of that.
Mr. Sir, look here.
Tank is not. Tank said, "My daddy is sir."
There you go.
Oh my God.
I'm still young at heart.
So Tank, let's talk.
Let's talk, man. Let's.
Yeah.
You made the decision during the Band Edition Part 2 to play percussion, and you're a drummer first. Why did you do that?
Man, I made the decision because, first off, I had already played it the first one. That's one. And second, having the young gun come in and blaze the way he blazed and the way he's been blazing, it was also an opportunity for people to see different styles of drummers. Because that's what it's about. You know, we had a different bass player, we had a different guitar player.
Yeah.
So you get to see different styles of musicians coming together to still serve the same goal and the same purpose. And everybody has a different approach.
Yeah, so, that's good.
That was a decision because I knew it was going to be people, and especially him being who he is at this moment.
Yeah.
Also, you want to think business minded. So business says he's the hot commodity. You know what I'm saying? So why not use his leverage to continue to grow? To help people, you know to bring awareness to what we do. Yeah, so I'm never going to be insecure about my playing around anyone because my playing is who I am and I'm comfortable with who I am. And us as musicians got to learn to be in a comfortable position if someone plays the same instrument as you. Yeah. It doesn't mean you got to play every song. It doesn't mean you got to do every gig. You know, if you have the ability to play something else, it's okay to play that. Yeah, and too, the thing that I forgot, I lost my train of thought. That food on your mind.
And I'm tired, but I ain't. The people came to see us. Y'all came to see us last night. Y'all in here right now. I'm finna say what I was gonna say. Tank decided to play percussion. Chris played drums.
Dennis played bass, TJ played guitar. I'm gonna come up with it in a minute.
Had Steve on organ.
Steve on organ, Dom on ox.
Yes.
What is the punchline though? Oh yeah, to Tank's point, we all have different styles. We all have different interpretations of music, and nobody's better or worse.
No.
Everybody just does what they do. And I think for Tank to be secure, you already said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tank's. I can't think.
Hey man, go get you a roll.
Secure. See what I'm trying to say?
Tank's ability to be secure in himself enough to play percussion over
Yeah.
playing the drums is a big deal. It says a lot about him. And
Thank
the fact
you.
that-
Wow. Come through in the clutch. Tank. Whoa.
Says a lot about him and his
The
humility.
better half.
Yes,
The better
because
half.
that was a train wreck. Yo, I was like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
yo. Hey, so this what happened. After the live, Tank went home. Well, to his mom and dad's crib. TJ and Dominique and Steve, they came here, and Steve did not leave till 3:18.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
3:18, I was snoring.
Steve, and then, hey, Brittany, that fool gonna be crazy. Me and Tank finna tell y'all we love y'all, and that musicians rock.
Hey.
We finna do the benediction.
Do your best.
Me and Tank
all
finna do
this-
our A and B
Look here.
selection.
Be all that you can be in the musician army. Come
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Be what you are and live the life.
Come on now.
Hey, but listen, last night was incredible. We're gonna do that a lot of more times. We're gonna check our schedules and see how often we're gonna check people's availability to see who's gonna be playing. Because like Tank said, sometimes we'll be playing a different instrument. Sometimes we won't be playing at all.
At all.
So we're just gonna figure out which times we want to like. Sometimes we're going to teach by example, and sometimes we're going to teach by having like our mentees play, and we teach them while y'all watch them learn. So it's gonna be a thing where over time it's just gonna evolve, and we're gonna get everybody scheduling. But really, I just wanted to come up here tonight specifically to talk and have the conversation as it relates to an older, like the OG big homie little brother dynamic in anything, not just music, but in general. Like when you get there's a time when we the youngins, and I said that last night. Like when we the youngins, our OGs the OGs. We the OGs now. So there's a certain responsibility, Tank, if that's the right word.
Absolutely.
If we care about the music community, if we care about the generation under us, and we really want to sow and pour into what we do overall beyond our individualism, if we care about the whole community, it is our responsibility and duty to mentor and teach what we've learned. Like, because it is easy to, that's why I want to talk about it. Because now that we're older, it's easy for us to complain about what we used to do that younger musicians don't do. But it is more mature and impactful to teach than it is to complain. Like, I don't want to be that guy to be like, man, all they do is, no, all they do is all they know. So if you want them to know something else, be the person that teaches.
That's good.
Come on and teach.
If you want them to know something else, be the one to teach them. Like,
Come on, professor.
no, that's Steve.
Give out this knowledge.
Steve is the actual literal professor.
Literal.
Yeah, he is.
He came from he came from. Wait,
Hey man, go get you a roll, Doc. Get you a roll Bito to get some grease in your mouth, Doc.
this is bad tape.
Get some grease, boy. Get some grease.
Hey! He literally drove from school. He had a class at 2. He was late because they were late at his school. He drove from Maryland after working and drove straight to the church and jumped on the organ. Tank came from Nashville the day before. Dom came the day before, and then Dennis picked up his son. Because it was his weekend to pick up his son. He said, I got to pick up my son, and I'm going to be late, but I'm coming.
Yes,
TJ, guitar, his wife was sick. So he had to take care of her, made sure she had everything she needed, made sure she was good before he could leave. So everybody was late with good reason. Me and Tank was late because I would get my hair cut.
Yeah.
Tank was with me. Tank and TJ, we were late, but we weren't like late.
We were
like 10 minutes early.
We was on time, but we had a reason, you know.
Yeah.
Once we realized everybody else had a few minutes.
We were like, oh, okay. We would have really been on time till everybody texted and was late. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Everybody late.
It was legit, though. It'd be different if people just late.
No, it was significant reasons. And everybody pressed their way in spite of. Yeah. And I think that's crazy. Like, and everybody who was late was like, listen, I got to do this, but I'm coming. I got to do this, but I'm coming. I got to do this, but I'm coming. And I'm like, the fact that us gathering together on the strength of each other and giving back. That's wild. Well, you finna say something?
I'm agreeing because for anybody that's wondering, there's no checks passed.
We ain't passing out checks.
We ain't passing out no checks.
I'm not paying their room and board. Well, first of all, the funny thing is, even though everybody live in different states, we are all brothers who grew up together. So everybody from here, they just don't live here no more. Yeah. But it ain't no money thing. We not getting paid. We don't have no sponsors. I asked them to do a thing. Not yet. Yeah.
That's right.
I asked them to do a thing, and they were like, yo, when? And then I was going to do it again. Crazy thing is, it was my plan to do it again in February. And Dom was like, I'm down, but can you push that boy up some?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's therapeutic for us as well. Because we spend, now with us being older, we spend most of our time apart where we used to spend most of our time together.
Yeah.
Per day.
So it's just like, it's a lot of layers to what makes this something we love to do. It's a lot of layers to it. So, Tank, I want you to tell them about the,
yes, sir.
What it means for you to like go on road trips. Because I think that's dope.
Man. So for those that do know, let me get closer.
Yeah.
Go closer. Okay. For me, road trips are therapeutic. I know people like, man, you get on the road and drive 8 hours, 9 hours, and don't think about it. Well, when you take the time, for me, I take the time and I reflect. Whatever's going on in my life, I give myself time to think about it and prioritize what's important and what I really don't need to be holding on to. And finding the positive in whatever situations that may be prevalent within this time frame. So the drive is not so much as I'm looking at it, it's going to be long. It's like, okay, what do I need to think about? What do I need to get in line with Ricky?
Yeah, facts.
And that's what it is. And by the time I'm sitting there just thinking and listening to music or maybe watching a show, which I'm not watching the show for those that be like, you watching the show and driving. I'm just listening to the words and the explosions and different things.
Look at Shiy. Shiy said, that boy know daggone well he be watching that TV.
Look, if I was watching it, then we'd be in trouble.
No, let me tell you, I'm going to go ahead and confess. All American has got me to Tampa, Florida, dog.
For sure.
I ain't even finna hold you. All American got me to Tampa, Florida, dog.
What got me here? This Grownish got me here.
Oh, yeah. I got to get up on that.
Yeah, that got me here. But yeah, it's not so much as just a drive. It's just putting things together, putting it in perspective. I run a lot between gigs, the 9-to-5s, just life in general. So the drive is really time for me to just pull it all together.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that space or that thing that will help them pull themselves in line.
Yeah.
You just have to find it. So for me, driving is one of them. I just take the time to pull it all together. And trust me, man, life is lifing.
Life be lifing hard on us, Tank.
Life is
because this is not, to be honest with y'all, in the most cryptic way, this is not the most fun weekend for Tank.
Ah, man, look here.
He has a lot going on.
Yeah.
like we had to get Tank ride and Tank called me like, "Hey, little bro, it's turbulent out here."
Boy, look here. Boy, look here.
Hey,
Man.
yeah, it was crazy. Life
is,
on us for real.
Man, life is interesting, man. But again, I'm trying to remember to take it all in stride.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to remember to find the positive. It's really easy to live in the negative. I often remind myself that growing up, we always says, "Oh, that's reality," but we've somehow tainted our reality to be negative versus being positive. So now I'm trying to change my mindset to say, "Oh, this is my reality, but my reality is positive. What am I learning from it? How is it going to make me a better man? How is it going to grow me in the areas that I need to have growth in?"
Yeah.
So the weekend has been, man, interesting, but I'm gonna keep pushing.
Yes, sir.
And you find people that will feed the positive that you need into your situation, which is why I'm extremely grateful for my brother and my sister here, because they feed me the positive.
Yeah. I told Tank, hey Brittany, I told Tank I'm his, what is it, Tank?
You're my
Sponsor. I'm Tank's sponsor. Hey, before you make any moves, call me.
Right.
I need to check.
Where you at,
Where you at, man?
What you doing?
I need you.
Don't call me. FaceTime me.
Yeah, I need to see. Show me. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you straight. Go home, Tank.
Go home.
Go home, Tank. Cause Tank at home. Go home, man.
Go home.
Hey, but I also want
you.
you to talk about setting your decision to do music and still work a 9 to 5 to set goals, even though you hate it.
Ah, man, look here.
Tank.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I can't stand the job that I have to punch the clock on. But when it comes to setting goals, you're gonna have to do some things you don't want to do to get where you want to get to.
That's good.
So for me, I look at it as this. First off, as a musician, one thing younger musicians we're not always hip to is the concept of insurance. Insurance is very important because you may get those amps hitting the toe, or you falling over off a stage, like whatever it is that causes your injury. You don't want to have to spend millions of dollars just to get it fixed, or you don't want to be the guy that does nothing and then over time it turns into something worse than what it can be. So one main reason for me holding on to the job is that I love my benefits. Second, it's also adding an extra income to what I do. It's a demanding situation. I appreciate my flexibility, but I will gain a little bit more finances to push the goals I got going. So if I can make extra money doing that, why not? As long as I'm able to schedule myself appropriately and not burn myself out. That's the purpose of a 9 to 5. And I think I made a post probably about 3 years ago that a 9 to 5 is not the death of your career. And I say that because for those that do watch and keep up, I'm still working just as much as any musician can work. And I still punch a clock.
Bro, look at the camera and say that one more time. A 9 to 5 is what?
A 9 to 5 is not the death of your career.
That is heavy.
It's not. It's also just having responsibilities, and if you got goals, you're gonna do what you need to do to reach your goals. And I will hold on to it until the time has come for me to leave. And I have a leave date in mind.
That's good.
So it's not a forever thing, but I know for what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go, it's necessary.
So you've given the job a purpose that drives you beyond liking it.
Yep.
That's good. What do you say to somebody that say, "Hey man, but this ain't what I want to be doing. I don't want to be working. I don't like the job, so I'd rather struggle."
Hey, if that's if that's what you want to do, by all means. I'm not pushing my philosophy on anyone.
That's good. Tank.
You have your own mind. You know how much you're willing to take. You know how much you're willing to endure. You know your limit. And for me, my limit is I do not want to be without certain things. And I'm determined to do what I need to do to get those things. So for me, the 9 to 5 is there.
Yeah.
You know, for those that don't want to, hey, if you find something that works for you, you do it. But make sure it's bringing you peace and happiness and it's safe. Because I know as musicians, we are very close to other lifestyles as well. And that could really put you in a situation of doing things you don't want to do. And I do not want to be that person doing what's easy to get X amount of dollars. Like if I got to work for it and know that I can go home and be safe.
Oh, wait.
Cool.
So are you saying in some cases it is better to work a job than to take gigs that don't line up with your values?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Because
sir.
at the end of the day, I'm just as happy if I take a gig that's $75, but I know what's in the gig. And when I say what's in the gig, it's who it's connected to.
Yeah.
The opportunities that are surrounded. And if it's $75 and it's just a good vibe and I can enjoy myself, that I'm cool with.
Yeah.
You know, don't take a gig just because you need the money. Now, still have discernment. You know, you still got to be mindful because not every gig is a good gig.
Yeah.
Even the gig that's going to take care of all of your bills for that week. If you got to leave out with a headache or you got to leave out with your energy being drained, it's not worth it. And some people may disagree. And if you disagree, that is 100% your decision.
Yeah.
But for me, in guarding my peace and in guarding my way of life, it's okay to say no.
Okay.
So I'm just there. I will say no and be just as happy as I was when I woke up that morning and I saw I had the hot sign logo showing up on my phone for Krispy Kremes.
Yo,
Oh,
so
man.
listen, what about that? You said you just say no. Why? Okay. If you're dope, people are calling. They always calling. You got different opportunities. You saying, hey, sometimes it's not good to do gigs that don't align with your values. There's some people out here that say yes to every call they get. Based on your experience and what you've been through, how has no impacted your career and your trajectory?
No has been of great value. The impact has been great. It saved me the headache of hearing the stories that went down from the gig. Whether it be bad management, whether it be the finances wasn't what it was supposed to be, whether it was just a situation where run-ins with other people on the gig.
Yeah.
You and the other musicians may not see eye to eye or
Yeah.
whatever it is. You know, that no just saved me from taking me out of my positive mindset and moving forward. Like more than anything now, I try not to complain about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to worry about a gig where I feel like I'm going to complain or it's just a headache in the preparation before I even get there, then it's okay. Like the impact has been great. I've been happy with saying no and being at home playing 2K.
Sometimes it's better than to make that.
And to make
Because
that money.
it's like sometimes you may say yes to a gig that pay $500, but the stress, pain, and suffering
was worth $20 million.
Good guy.
Like for
I need severance.
Man, look, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
It's okay to be at home chilling.
It is.
I have this saying that I say to myself, what I need will be there.
Mm-hmm. Can I get that?
That's a
Yeah.
she about to get you.
I got a whole nother one.
Yeah, what I need will be there.
build it.
And when
You
I
let
say
him talk.
get him, I'll stop so you can get him.
It's okay. God is still pleased with me.
Yeah, because you a giver. You're not a cheerful giver though. Cause you didn't give me that with gladness.
Boy, you ain't gonna get no more. You just
You finna peel that for me? I won't get no more anyhow, Tank.
you fix.
Hey, well, yeah. Continue, Tank.
Oh, yeah. So I say what's for me will be there, and when I say that, that means I'm not gonna worry about if I need something or even if I just want something. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's gonna be there. It's gonna happen. And I choose to have that mindset, and I choose to live with that being one of my affirmations. What I need will be there. So yeah,
that's good.
And honestly and truthfully, I have seen it. You know, I may have started out the week saying no to something, and then there's another opportunity that came up that was greater than the opportunity that was presented to me at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just, you live by your principles and stick to them. Good things will happen.
Yeah, and I was just watching this video earlier today, this morning, in fact, where an entrepreneur was saying sometimes when you're playing the long game and you have a goal in mind that's in a certain direction, sometimes you have to have seasons of no. Like sometimes you have to block out times in your life, 90 days, 6 months,
well, look at
9 months, 12 months, where you say no to vacations, no to extra money spending, no to gigs that are connected to people that are not integral, no to platforms that don't serve you well in this season, like saying no to things that would be premature, like getting to the place where you like, for this season, whether it's a month, 2 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, this is my season of no, so that I can prepare myself to receive that big yes. Like when I get to that place where an opportunity hits me where my yes could change my life. So I would take a long season of no to position myself to be put in front of the opportunity that when I say yes to that, it changes everything. But sometimes our micro day-to-day yeses are a big, like, distraction. It's just a mountain of detours, like, over and over. Man, I'm thinking about telling that story, Tank. I'm not going to say the name because y'all know we don't say names on here. But I was just talking to Tank about this. 2016, 2017, it was one of them, right, Tank?
Yeah.
I was doing this thing every week called TMO, where I would, my wife would, I would sit in the studio, I would make a song, my wife would edit it, and I would put it up every week. Every week. And I was doing it, and it started to build momentum, and it was doing well. I was getting feedback. I ended up doing one of the songs with a dope girl from here, and that did well, and it was going well. It was building. My following was building. My engagement was building, and an opportunity presented itself. Tank was involved, and then I'm gonna let Tank piggyback because he got his feedback about it too. Tank was involved. One of our brothers was involved, and one of the OGs, big bros, was involved. So,
yes, sir.
So Tank called me. He was like, "Hey, no." We ended up doing it because one of our little brothers didn't do it.
Yeah, because
it started as one thing.
Because I wasn't here yet.
Yes, it started as one thing. It evolved into another. Long story short, I said yes to that opportunity. Mm-hmm. That might have been one of the biggest single bad yeses that I'm talking about. That might Tank. That's top 5 bad yeses.
I think it was, it was 17 because I was still in Cali.
Yeah, then you was gonna move it. You came back for a little while.
Back and you was like, "Yo,
let's do this.
Let's do so."
Jesus, that was a big mistake.
But this is the strength of brotherhood. I got you. Bet
he did it. He did it too. Hey, now I'm about to tell y'all. No, Tank, I'm gonna let you. Okay, so that was a dumb yes for me. It was a dumb yes for me, but I'm gonna bring it back around. I'm gonna let Tank say his piece about the same situation,
Man.
and then I'm gonna tell you how life worked where it'll still work out for you good. Go ahead, Tank.
Man, so with that situation, my yes was built in a transitional period. And people got to remember, everybody's yeses and nos are going to be for different reasons. Yeah. So, little bro, yes, was based off something, but it should have been a no. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that my yes to it was going to be a bad situation. Now, when I look at everything that transpired, was it bad? Absolutely. Oh my God. It couldn't have gone any worsened. I'm going to use a word, a worsened.
Worsened.
It couldn't have gone any worsened because one, at this point, like he's saying, he's building, right?
Yeah.
So while he's building, his mentality is growing.
Yes.
His perception on how he does music is
growing.
And so now you step into a situation you have elevated, but the situation you're saying yes to is still in the same place it's been. And for me, again, my yes was a totally different reason. So I don't carry all the weight that little bro carried, but I understood it as we were going through it.
Yeah, because it started being like,
because it started to become just a outright headache.
Yes.
It became frustrating, seeing the things that transpired. I wish he would have said no.
I wish it, Tank.
And for me, my yes was based off something else. So
yeah,
and
it was good. It was good. Your yes was good for where you were.
Yeah, it was a transition.
And my no was bad for where I was.
Yeah. So,
but I'm gonna tell you the flip side. The thing about God, the thing that's crazy is, if I would have said no to that situation and kept doing TMO, I could have possibly blew up without my wife.
I mean,
you would have been there. You would have been making the videos, doing the graphics, but it wouldn't be like, it would have never been presented as you and I on everything if that would have blew up.
I can see that.
You would have been a part of it in the background.
mm-hmm.
I can see that.
So then,
you found a positive in the situation.
yes, because at first I was like, man, I went real low. Because then we went into, like, right after that, this is the crazy part, Tank. Right after that, we went into a transition where we moved, and there was a little pocket where it was real rocky, Tank. And in that rocky place, in that rocky season, right after that, so I start doing the TMO. We say yes to the thing. The thing just really takes me way off track. While being off track, we have this transition where we move. This transition is really rocky, Tank.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in this state, it's in this time that I come up with the idea to build the brand of ROJAY and Shiy. In that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we try to start moving with the first podcast, and Shiy was working so much, it was impossible for us to be consistent.
Yeah.
So it's like we were trying, we'll do a song here, we'll do a podcast here, 2 weeks, a month, try something else, 3 weeks, try something else. And we couldn't never get that. We couldn't never. Chris Darden, what up, little bro? Chris Darden is in the building. He killed last night. Gang. So we were in a process. Oh, Chris, we got to, huh?
Somebody said he has told me, man, look here.
Who said that?
E.
I've never said no, bro.
But you don't worry about that. Hey, so come back to what I'm saying. Hey, so things were happening, but it wasn't happening like consistently. It was here and there. But the seed was planted. The idea came, hey, babe, can we do this? You want to do this? I hit Jess. I was like, yo, this the thing that we would do. We would try to do when we could. Everything going. And then as time progressed, we got to a place where we would try to do what we needed to do. We would try to do what we need to do. It can never be consistent. Let me tell you how we got consistent, Tank. We were the most consistent during the pandemic when we couldn't do praise and worship at church.
Yep.
So SMS, the thing we were doing every Sunday with the gospel songs, we weren't doing that because we decided to do gospel songs every week. We did that because the church needed virtual praise and worship.
That was our
And we just decided to build a brand alongside an obligation for church.
Smart.
So we were like, okay, since we got to do virtual praise and worship, let's put it out on our platform. Those SMS are real. Hey. So that was the thing. It was like, okay, we got to do this for church. Our pastor called and was like, hey, we need y'all to do these things for church because they're going to do virtual. And I'm like, if we got to do a virtual video, how about we use that to build? So we start putting on our platform and then giving it to them to play too. And then we were building. And then after that, we were doing that. We were still trying to do songs. We did X1. We put that out.
We did release X1.
It was tough, but we got it got it going. We were able to we were in the apartment and we got it going.
You got it done.
And then we moved again. We moved out of the apartment, we moved again. And the house that we moved in, oh my God. That was the worst year. That was the worst 1 year lease on God's green earth. We didn't get nothing done because the house was so not sweet that we couldn't set up shop. And then we had to set up at church, but it took 1,000,000 years to get from the house to the church. Yeah. So we like, bro, man, yo.
Yeah, I had that drive back.
So it's crazy. And then I'm gonna tell you another thing about it. So then we ended up moving here. And then as soon as we moved here, we settled in, took a couple weeks, and now y'all seeing what y'all see.
Yeah.
But now I want to share something that I think is very key to other people. Uncle Ty said, Tank.
Yo, what up, Unc?
I want to say something that's important for other people, man. Even though you think you know people, like for instance, I know Tank. Tank know me. I just told Tank about a series of events that he had no clue about.
No clue.
Now, I'm going to go there. If Tank were to call, let's say Chris. Let's say Tank called Chris and like, yo, man, little bro ain't sweet, man. As dope as he is, man, he need to be dropping content every week. I don't understand. With a gift like his, I would have been done did this. I would have been done did that. I would have been done did this. Man, it don't make no sense what he ain't doing. Tank, hey, you don't know what me and my wife going through. You don't know the struggles. You don't know that we've been trying, and there's been a lot of obstacles in our way. But here you go, without information, telling somebody else what you think I should be doing. Tank, is that not a real thing?
Boy, look here. There's so many people that have so many wonderful ideas and thought about what you should be doing.
Your life could.
And needless to say, their life ain't 100% either.
God, no.
So at the end of the day, the best thing for you to do, and the William brothers said it best, sweep around your own front door.
Before you try to sweep around.
mine.
Hey,
And
please. David Curry on the David Curry
Wow.
on the DX7. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Wallace
Got that.
Strickland is baby David Curry Sr. Do not get it twisted. That is a Malaco, Mississippi fun fact.
hey,
Wallace
bless him with
Strickland is little David Curry.
man.
Hey,
bless
but
him with
yeah, like,
Yeah,
so I've
that's
gotten
it.
to the place now where I don't project. Now, if you a brother, this how it should go.
Oh,
Tank called me and say, little bro, what you been up to? Everything good? Automatically, I'm finna tell him no. He ain't gonna have time to talk to me about the content now.
nah.
He called to tell me, if he calling to get to the content, but he asked me if I'm okay first, I'm gonna tell him no, and he gonna ask me what's going on. Then I'm gonna explain it, and he ain't gonna talk to me about the content.
And another key thing, if you have that type of relationship with people,
Right.
if you have that relationship with people, when they ask you what's up, be honest.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Pause. That's key.
If
If
you have.
so, if you don't even have
that
if you don't even have that type of relationship, that means you don't even have the grounds to have an opinion. Y'all not even close enough for you to have 2 cents.
No.
Because you opening up to the wrong person is gonna be devastating to where you're trying to go. Because that person ain't gonna hold what they should be holding. They're gonna release it, and then it's gonna get worse. So kind of the situation that with the podcast you just released with Damo, your intent was good with what you said to whoever, but that person may not have been the person to have that conversation.
It was the wrong. And let me tell y'all something.
Yeah.
Please go to RXS Entertainment and watch Dominique's podcast.
Yeah.
Me and Dominique did not talk for a couple of years
Yeah.
because I talked to somebody out of concern in good faith, and they went back and told that boy I was dogging him. So y'all go watch that podcast, boy.
You must be careful with who you release sharing for.
Yes,
God
Lord.
Like at the end of the day, everybody ain't meant to hold everything. And I think for us, we grew through that. Just building, because I think everybody, like, your breaking point. Well, I say this, who your brothers are when you have a breaking point, right?
Ooh.
So, well, I ain't gonna say just brothers, your family.
Yes, because sisters too.
Yeah.
Me and Maul, I was always the big bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can talk about the story because we right here. Again.
You about to talk about this phone?
The phone joint.
Let's go!
So the thing is, I'm the big bro, and for those who even watch my podcast, you understand the responsibility and what I had to do as far as being over the guys. So keep in mind, I'm over the guys, but the guys are growing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when growth happens? Growth happens, and you feel like you need to be able to express yourself. The question is, how do you express yourself to someone who's been over you and you feel like they're not going to listen to you? So I'm riding, my phone rings, and when the phone rings, Lil Bro and J-Mo together, which is Jamario, and I say hello, no answer, but there's a conversation going on. Yeah. And the conversation that's happening is, hey, I feel like Tank don't want to hear me. Like, he ain't listening to me. Like, what I got to say ain't valid. And when we try to tell him stuff, he don't want to listen. So I had 2 ways to handle this, right? One way is to call back and go in and just be like, nigga, you don't understand what's going on. That way would have detoured any relationship that me and this young man has now.
Yeah.
So always remember, you have multiple ways to deal with a situation. You want to choose the best way. So what did I do? I hung up the phone, and instead of calling anybody else and saying, man, yo, these boys in here going in on the kid, I gave it about an hour and a half, and I called him directly. I said, bro, you just called me, and I heard the whole conversation.
Jesus.
Bro was like, you heard the conversation? Right then, the way he repeated that lets me know that it wasn't coming from a bad place. It was coming from a place of him having growth. And this is where us as gentlemen, we have to understand how to have these conversations. He was able to release what he needed to release with me in a safe space, knowing that I wouldn't have judgment, I wouldn't have an attitude, and I would not go overboard. Guys, when somebody comes to you with something and it's a concern on their heart, don't overreact. Hear them out. Your overreaction can tear down potential relationships in the long run. So we have the conversation, and ROJAY is here right now. I didn't spaz.
He did not.
We didn't go off.
It shocked the fool out of me.
And it was a point, and it's also a growing point for me because I have been the big bro so long. My mentality is protection mode. Like, don't worry about it, you got it. But it's just like when you got your kid and they're learning to ride a bike. They got to have training wheels. you keep them training wheels on too long, your kid is gonna complain. I can do this. I'm tired of looking like a little kid. So I still was holding training wheels because this is what I've been doing, not realizing these boys ready to run.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell y'all what's so crazy about the story. Let me tell you what's crazy about the story. At this time, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Tank. Chris, what up? Chris Stevenson in here. At this time, now this is going to make Band Edition make a lot of sense. At this time, this is when I realize that I have a production mind and music director capabilities. So, in all actuality, I know that Tank is big bro and he put us on. But I know that I have what it takes to drive the musical ship for the band. But Tank has been our leader for so long, I don't know if he can accept little bro being the MD. He the youngest out of us all. And I was like, based on what we've been through, I don't know if he's trying to go for that. But I know that these things, there are certain things that can be different. There are certain things that he needs to grow in that we've never felt comfortable telling him because he the big homie. It's like, we can be we could get to another place if Tank does da 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 da. But who gonna tell him? But I ain't gonna tell him.
I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all gonna tell him.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. Y'all had the respect for me for where I was.
Yes.
And in growing, understanding that having these conversations is not disrespectful.
Ah!
Growth is not disrespectful. Growth is growth. No matter how you get to growth, it's gonna happen. So when you had the conversation and we talk, I said, bro, how many times have I said y'all can come to me?
Yeah, you did say that.
I was like, yo, I've never had
We didn't
that.
believe it, Tank.
But that's the thing. You didn't believe it because I ran so much. And so, you know, me being in the meetings and having the arguments, making sure y'all was straight. So it's like big bro fighting for us. But we're feeling musically there's some things that could change. Yeah. Okay. I was so busy on that end that the other end for me my attention wasn't there. And shut up. This guy. Ain't nobody listen to him.
Ignorant.
So
that really did happen though. But even though what Chris has said is hilarious,
funny,
it really is.
What's funny?
Hey, can you want to talk about that?
This is what I dealt with. Like people don't understand.
Talk about it, bro. Explain.
People don't understand that I wasn't.
Tank was a whole parent.
I wasn't just the big brother. I was a guardian as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I was not only navigating what we're gonna do musically and trying to feed musically. I'm navigating homework. I'm navigating, okay, you got an extracurricular this day. I'm also navigating with the people who may not feel we should be doing this for these young guys at the church. So now I'm taking on all these leadership roles and I'm fighting for so much that there was an area going missing. Like everybody knows when you're doing a job, you can only cover for so much, which is why most of your successful people only run one particular portion of it and they entrust the people that they're working with to do stuff. I was the oldest. Some things they couldn't deal with and I had to do it. So now again, here's their growth coming. Their growth is coming. I'm not naive to the growth, but I'm like, man, I still got to make sure this is happening. So this is where the head bumping came in because I'm taking on so much and they feel like, yo, big bro lacking, bro. But how are we gonna tell Big Bro this when Big Bro is here making sure we ain't gotta pay for nothing?
Facts. That's exactly how we was thinking.
And so the conversation happened just because.
I was talking to. Here's the thing. This is good, Tank. I talked to Jamario about it, and I talked to Jamario specifically. Out of all of the homies, I talked to Jamario about it specifically because number one, he was there with Tank before us. Yeah. So I was trying to get advice from him, and then he was so advanced musically that he could understand my frustration. So it was twofold. It was, you were here before me, you have a little more insight, maybe you can help, and then two, you know what we could be out here doing. Yep. So nobody else was in the car. I never mentioned that to nobody but Jamario because I'm like, I know where he and I stood. I know where you and him stood.
Yeah.
And then it was like, baby, it was kind of like the way you felt when you sent me that text on purpose. When Tank called me back and said he heard the conversation, I was happy, boy. I said, man, I'm scared because I don't know what he about to say. But man, he knew. He knows now.
It wasn't, and I wasn't in a place of feeling like, man, yo, you don't want me to do this. No, I said, bro, you could have talked to me. And if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
But Tank was, that part hit me. When he said that, y'all know I started crying. But Uncle Todd say, hold on, keep talking, Tank.
Because remember, I'm still growing as a man as well. I'm growing as a leader in situations. And if I would, and then here's another thing I thought about when I said I had to take time to even make the call back. I had to check how I was going to respond. That's growth. Like I couldn't respond to you in a manner of, man, I don't know who you think you are. Like, why you doing that? Like, it's a moment of checking your ego. Figure out, what am I missing for us to have this altercation? A lot of times when people have altercations, your first mindset is think about what the other person doing. Take 2 seconds, think about where you may have played a role in this situation, and let's figure it out together.
All right, okay, 2 questions, Tank.
Yes, sir.
What made you decide to take the positive approach? Number 1. And number 2, how did you know that where I was coming from was genuine and not with ill intent?
The positive approach was just the concept of, I can't meet a situation with anger. Anger is not going to make the situation any better. I knew who you were as a person. And anyone who knows, and I'm going to say Jamal, because at this point I'm talking from the point of knowing this guy.
Brotherhood, yeah.
Jamal is aggressive, but his aggression is not ill will. It's because he believes something. And when somebody has a belief in something, your job is to take that, understand where they're coming from, and not react because of how they're acting. So
let me say something real quick.
Tank is so heavy right now.
Yes, let me say something real quick, because it takes a special kind of person to see the intent of a person's heart beyond what they say or what they
or
do,
how they say it.
or how they say it. Tank, it's a lot of people in this world that will applaud your ability to do what you do, but don't have the mental or just the capacity to be able to do or see how you did.
Yeah.
That's a bit, I mean, I'm not gassing you, and I don't want you to feel weird, because I would feel weird if somebody said it about me.
Yeah, because people...
But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, people manipulate power. Mm-hmm. You did not do that.
No, I couldn't. Like, because my dad, like, y'all, you know my dad. It was one, for me, yeah, I had power. Mm-hmm. But in my power, I'm still remembering that I got young guys up under me, right? Mm-hmm. If I was to abuse my power, and you think about everybody that was up under me, and you think about where they are now. Mm-hmm. If I scarred any one of y'all in a particular way, you may not be where you are now. So it goes back to saying I knew how to communicate with
each
Jamal.
One of us, yes.
I know how to communicate with Chris. I know how to communicate with D. I know how to communicate with Terrell. I'm calling the names I know because this is how we grew up.
Yes, this is how we grew up.
And who else did I miss? I missed Chris D,
Jamario, Antonio.
Mm-hmm. So I know how to talk to these guys because I've spent time with them and I understand who they are as a person. And if I hadn't, then it would be a lot of things would be different in our lives. And I just chose to find positive and be I wanted to be one thing I always wanted to be. I wanted to be a light for them. I wanted them to see, Like, don't get it twisted. I was still a teenager.
But he was light years ahead.
But I still had to make the time to understand that my dad entrusted me with this. I still had to have some level of responsibility stuck in somewhere in my brain to know that when we have altercations, let's figure out a way to do this so we don't lose our relationships.
Yeah.
That's good. Too.
It's okay to be able to Chris, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna mention all
Okay.
his comments because he's talking about what we saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if I don't take the time to nurture properly, then we'll be in a different direction. So me,
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
If I don't take the time to nurture properly,
Yeah. Like I didn't realize it, but
But that's what you were doing.
yeah, like I didn't realize until later on. But me being able to cater to each one of y'all where y'all were, that's nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to understand that, okay, collectively when I say, all right, we're leaving at this time, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, that's collectively, we all gotta take that bump and go for it. But if something else happens, and let's say we'll just use music because that's where we at. Musically, if we're playing something, now this is before I was like, yo bro, you got the ear, whatever you hear, go for it. So before that, it's just me and my dad. If something happened, I can go to Chris, and Chris is on the live now. I can go to Chris and attack this Negro. I can say, yo, man, what are you doing?
What would you say, Tank?
We try not to.
but just blank it out.
What are you doing? Like, where's your head? Why? Because I've taken, and as a leader, you take the time to learn your people. I learned that's how I can communicate with Chris, right? So when I came to Jamal, hey, bro, try so and so and so, and let's see how this moves. If it moves this way, then we good.
Yeah.
Because aggression doesn't move him. Aggression makes him slide back and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna play the bare minimum, and then I'll notice that his chord movements have changed.
boy
His
playing
notes
basics.
is now just, all right, this is where I'm at. And same thing with G. Like G, I could be midway.
Yeah, because he a prankster who
Yeah.
don't.
I gotta joke it up.
Yeah.
Like, what did you on today, boy?
Boy, because you ain't playing
Boy,
nothing.
over here. So like, and you just have to learn this
Yeah.
to be that effective leader, because I knew and I saw what the capability was for y'all. So if I do something wrong, I could jeopardize y'all future, and I did not want to be the person that y'all look back and say, man, that guy did what he did in my life.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna read Chris' comments so you can respond. No, they are very good.
Here we go.
The first one is, but Uncle Tyrone's is funny. Let me read Uncle Tyrone's first. When the crew cash in individually, everybody should get Tank 10%. Hey, cause the ball's finna blow up. That's facts. Hey, that's facts. That's funny, but that's real. Hey, so Chris said, Tank, us watching you grow into a man better gave us insight on what it takes.
Chris.
No. He said,
I ain't reading right.
Tank,
I read it
us
wrong.
watching you grow into a man better,
he said it
into
right.
a man better gave us, good God, Chris, okay, better gave us insight on what it takes, because for me, our ages were literally domino effect down from your age.
It was.
And on.
It really was. It was Tank. Tank was at the top. So how did it go?
Me, Chris, it's because D and
Terrell the same
we
age.
about the same.
Jamario is over them.
Yeah, Jamario's over.
Is Jamario older than Chris?
I think it's Chris, Jamario.
Yeah.
Then we got D Terrell. That's the same way to you.
Okay, so now let's see if we can name. Now let's see if we can get it. 17. Right? If you said, were you 18?
I'm 18.
You were 18. How old was?
Chris is right at that 16.
Now down.
You got 15.
So was Jamario 16 too?
Jamario might have been 16. So Jamario and Chris are at that.
So
same
it's
point.
you 18, Jamario and Chris 16. Right?
Yep. So Chris is posted. It says Tank, Chris, Mario, Terrell, D Mo.
Yes. And I'm the youngest, which I'm probably 13.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14. Right. So that's the vibes. Tank has just become a man legally, and then we're all under him.
Because it's 21, so I'm just acting like I'm legally grown.
Yeah, facts. 18 ain't grown. I thought 18 was grown, but 21 drink.
21 is grown for male. The stuff may have changed. I know back then, 18 legally for a woman, 21 legally for a male.
Oh, Chris said something important. First time I ever mentioned this, but I was hurt and a bit lost when you moved. But I had to take on, I had to take on what you was doing for just a little bit.
Ah, man.
He said, but I'm grateful for the experience with what I went through because it made me man up.
Man, look,
that's a big deal.
I think everybody caught their time in my position. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's good too.
I think everybody had their moment in the position and realized that. And I'm not saying that, oh, y'all finally saw what I saw. That's not what I'm saying. But y'all had.
We got a chance to learn more than the music.
To realize that
it's more than just Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's more than just these caught up songs.
I would tell you there were.
Yeah, he just gave me the ages.
Yeah,
he said you were 18, Chris was 15, Jamario was 15, Terrell and D were 14 and 15. I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Chris was 16.
16.
That's crazy.
Mario was 15.
He put 15.
He corrected it.
I was 16. Jamario was 15. Chris is older than Mario. 14 and 15, and I was 13. Okay, that's it's important for y'all to know. Every time we tell this story, it is very important for y'all to know the ages because it's scary.
But it's crazy and scary to think that at that age we were learning to move.
Yeah.
In a unit, in a brotherhood mentality.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think about the conversation with my dad for everything.
Yeah.
And that conversation was, it was a rough one. It was rough.
Yeah, you had to sell it, Tank.
I had to sell it, and gratefully, and I have to say, and I know a lot of times parents get overshadowed when we tell this story, but shout out to all
everybody parents.
Y'all gotta sit here and think about it. I'm 18. I'm not grown officially, and these wonderful parents
they all say yes
to say yes.
That was crazy.
So if I've never said it before, and I've let me see. I have said it, but let me say it on a platform where everybody can hear this.
Yeah.
To the parents of the band that I was allowed to pull together, I thank you. Because one, what you taught those guys always stood up in them when we were going out. I can't count any time we've ever had a major situation. You know, we had the usual situations, us being guys, but as far as it's Chris talking about some
Hey,
look, bro.
Oh, do we want? Hey,
nah.
We don't want to tell that story.
Nah, we gonna say this. What they instilled was still there.
There you go, Tank.
You know what I'm saying?
Tank, that's a good way to put it.
And again, that's us growing up and having the altercations of trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And again, things can get lost in the sauce where the concept is Pastor Darcher did all this. No. He came in and helped, but at home, these guys had great parents that instilled things in them that made my job easier.
Yeah.
Because one, they didn't have to have the respect for me that they had.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to the parents, man. We thank you. I'm not gonna start calling names because I may miss some names.
But all along,
to all of the parents,
of the homies,
that had the rearing for the family. I appreciate it, and we grew. We grew.
We grown men now. So we're able to do the things that we do, and getting to that place of just celebrating each other, because we would have loved for us all to still been doing that now,
man.
And there still will be times, I believe, I think we all believe it, that there are situations where we will be able to come together, but everybody's doing so well in their own right.
Yeah, and everybody I think gotta take their own course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about us staying together, and I'm not speaking from a negative point, what would we have really accomplished, right?
Yeah.
We would have been a great band.
Yeah, I don't even know if we. Yeah.
But how many times would it be the band before our individual needs? I'm not saying it was wrong, but we had to find a way to stand in other areas to become the men we are.
Yeah.
So, and that's why anybody will tell you, I never held y'all to the standard. Y'all better stay here.
Yeah, you didn't. That was crazy too. Chris said, "On my life, if Miss Kathy never brought me to Tank and Pops musically, I'd still be stuck. Y'all boys changed the game for me." Yeah, it was game changing for us all.
Hey,
I ain't even gonna tell you no
I'm
lie.
gonna be ignorant for a second. Yeah, we changed your whole life, bro.
But that's a funny joke. But it's
no.
He basically just
You
said
know
that,
me.
but it's real because it was a level of exposure. As a collective, we were able to shed light on things for each other
Absolutely.
that still shine. But Tank, I want to go back to something you said that is very important.
Yes, sir.
And I want to take it from brotherhood in our situation to relationships in general. Because the funny thing about what you said is that's what we talked on the phone about when you were on the way here. And that is being connected with somebody enough to understand their intent beyond their communication style.
Man.
And not using communication style as a would it be a reason or excuse or a defense or a reason to be defensive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you said something to me on the way here when you were on the way here driving, like, hey, Ma, sometimes I do talk from a place of passion where my voice can like elevate or inflect. I forgot the word you used, but it doesn't mean that I'm trying to fuss.
Man, so I'll say this. I've been to classes and you realize that everybody has different demeanors, right? Mm-hmm. And when you have different demeanors in being a person, you listen and you try to learn those things. Mm-hmm. We'll talk with you.
All right, Chris.
If anybody,
we love you too, boy.
I love you, bro. If anybody watched the live last night and watched Jamal gets excited, right?
Yeah.
His voice raised. You gotta. In that moment, who took it as him being angry or aggressive and just being, I don't like what you playing. You need to play this. No, we know Jamal. He's passionate about what he's doing. I take that and relate it to just conversations with people. If you know my intent, bro, you know I love you. Mm-hmm. You know I think the world of you and I got the best, like, yo, I got you, bro. Mm-hmm. If I'm like, yo, what? You know my voice and the tone of it ain't the attack. It's like, yo, I'm passionate because I want you to hear what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes to someone that may be more low-key, right? They're low-key, and they may be saying something to you in this tone that's just low, but they're giving you this, and you're like, man, do you even care? Like, because you don't have any emotion in your voice behind it, but this is how they communicate. So it's on both sides. So you got to figure out the person.
You got to learn learn their communication style.
My sis, hers is, hey,
yeah. And you want to know what's crazy? She's walked away from me in plenty of situations and cried in private because her communication style made me feel like she didn't care. That has literally happened to us. Literally. Hey. I have looked at her straight dead in her eyes and told her she didn't care because I was looking for her to show passion the way I show passion. So if your arms ain't swinging and your voice ain't high,
I don't think you care.
I don't think you care.
Right. So, and that's a part of learning the person and figuring it out. Like, and coming to a compromise. Like, hey, I'll work on how I do it, but if there's a moment, just understand that this is where it's at. Just like I gotta understand that you're laid back, chill, cool, calm, and collective. Yeah,
and then the key is this is another thing. This is another thing, y'all. If in doubt, ask. Yeah. Because what'll happen is you get a response. The response doesn't look or sound like what you think it should look or sound like.
Yeah.
Instead of assuming and being offended, ask. Case in point, my wife says something, her voice low, it don't feel like it's got enough oomph to it to me. I say, what I should do is say, instead of saying, man, you don't even care what I'm saying, ask or say, hey babe, with the way your voice sounds, it's making me feel like you don't care. But I don't want to assume that you don't. So can you tell me how you really feel about this? And then let her use her words to tell you how she feels so that you can know versus concluding based on the communication style.
Hey.
But we be getting tight, Tank.
Dog, we get in our feelings, boy. You ain't hype like me. What are you doing? You really don't give a like, nah, bro. She may just be communicating in her own way, the same way
you hollering.
Get me? Yeah, I want you to understand me. You better take 2 seconds to understand this the same way.
Yes.
So it's it's a process, man, and every day I'm growing.
Yeah,
I'm growing, and sis spit something real on the way here that I really had to take into consideration.
And she did it. The crazy thing is, me and Tank been hype all day. I'm talking about me and Tank, rah, rah, rah. We on the phone. We going blow for blow. Hey, but we figuring it out though. And then she say something with her little still small voice. I said, hold on. You hold that. Let me go, Tank. And she talking right soft, and then Tank was like, yo.
I was like, you know what?
You might be right.
Let me reevaluate. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes you know things.
Tank, you got to be at church at 7:15.
Man, and it is 8:23 now. Let me address this young man right now.
He said 7:15. Tank milk dug head at. I had to get one in.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. When I get there at 7:15, you better not miss a single note in nothing. Why? Because I'm filling in at the last minute. You've already had this information. So this is where communication. This
is our relationship.
I can say this to this guy, and he knows the deal.
Yes, that's the vibe.
He's already, but that I will say, understanding the person is key at the end of the day, and you have to consider intent. Like you can't just take words and actions and emotions and just say, "This is what I'm going to take, and this is what I'm going to run with." You have to find some intent a little bit within your heart and your soul.
So you have to be able. So Tank, what I'm hearing you say is, you have to work past your own ego.
Absolutely.
Because some people want to stop at their own pride.
Well, look at.
If you really love somebody, whether it's a relationship like me and Tank being brothers, or me and my wife, like,
well, look at.
You gotta put some work in. Like, if you devoted to this person, if you rocking, if y'all building a business, this is professional, or if y'all building a marriage, which is like personal and romantic, it still take work.
What's that sermon my dad did years ago? Lay your pride aside and receive your blessing.
Man.
You can't receive it holding it, dog. You gotta let something go.
Yeah. Okay, so check this out. Chris Darden said, man, I really appreciate being around y'all last night, especially in this season of transition.
Yeah.
I want to point out, especially in this season of transition, this is why it pays to love on your brothers, be there for them, communicate with them, create opportunities for y'all to share words and your gift when you can, because you don't know where nobody is.
Bro.
Y'all, Chris Darden did say he would do the podcast, so I'm not going to tell his story.
Come on,
but every time we get here, I be wanting to tell his story,
No,
but I got to let him tell it himself.
Hold your muse, son.
When you, life be lifing, and when it don't be looking right,
look,
folks be talking crazy.
Yeah.
But the people who really know you got to support and shut up.
Look here.
Because you don't know how it's going to end up, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Chris tell his own story, though. But at the end of the day,
it's a journey, man.
It's a journey. All relationships take work, and it takes context, and it takes understanding, and it takes over communicating. Like, ask more questions.
Yeah.
Like, in general, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you know how we do, Tank. We talk to a person. We get a little chip on our shoulder about how they said something. Then we walk away, and then the thoughts just be rolling.
What? Look here.
The assumptions start going. But half those thoughts and assumptions could be eliminated if we would have asked questions.
Take the time and ask.
Yeah, just be like, so how do you really feel?
Yeah.
And then be ready to listen. Cause they might stump, they might really whack your toe.
Hey, look. Hey, look, remember that insurance? You got insurance, Doc? Go get it fixed.
They may really, when you ask them how they really feel, they may tell you something about yourself or your character or your personality that is toxic. Yeah. And if your pride ain't ready, it could get ugly. So just like you want to understand and you don't want to assume, you got to be ready for their truth.
Yeah, ready for the truth.
Because they might tell you a truth that sucks. Tank, my wife has told me some stuff, man, where on the outside, I flipped out because it was so painful. Yeah. But on the inside, I was ashamed that was the truth.
Man,
I was so ashamed.
You sit down and took inventory of that.
Man, I was so ashamed that my natural instinct to protect myself was to go off on her because I wasn't ready to deal with what she just dropped on me, dog. Man. But inside, I was embarrassed that was true. I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know.
Them things your girl tell you and you be like,
yo.
Shucks, man. And then you start look right. That's what you say on the outside.
Whatever. You ain't say that to me.
But on the inside, you like.
On the inside, you like, you know what?
Damn, that might be halfway true.
I ain't hit. I ain't hit.
Y'all saying a whole lot and ain't saying
be
nothing.
Stinging, boy.
That's the point.
That's real. Your heart and mind need protection in this. That's the engine behind the process. Yes, sir. And then Uncle Tyrone said relationships are real. I love Tank because he is not locked into a thought. He's open to hear, listen, and talk after that. It makes both parties better. Even if he initially disagrees, you will never know at first. Tank is my guy. Yeah, knows he is. Man, yeah, Tank is different, man.
I appreciate you, man.
And it's a thing. Like the more you grow and the more you learn, like you realize that like life is just a ever going loop of communication.
And you know what else, bro? It's also being willing to take in and not, like as we say, let your ego block you from being able to take in stuff. Like even with Unc saying that he knows me, we've had conversations, and the conversations have been literally 40 to 30 minutes of just him talking.
Yep, hey, but Tank,
listening and
Tank, I'm about to do something crazy though. I'm about to throw you a curveball that you ain't ready for.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking about Shiy, Bay. Y'all not ready for this curveball.
Let me get my glove.
Tank, what about when a person in your house has a different experience than Uncle Tyrone?
Man.
Who, if you ask them who you are, it ain't the same.
Man. It sounds like
Tank, I knew I was going to hit you with a good one, too.
Sounds like multiplicity. You got a couple of different people living inside of your head. Now, you need to come.
Even if you don't mean to, you do. Yeah. Let me tell you why. Because there's a certain vulnerability that you don't have to have with Uncle Tyrone that you got to have with your girl. So his experience of who you are is a different version of who you are to your girl. So you may be open-minded talking to Uncle Ty and don't listen talking to your girl.
Yeah, that's true.
So she ain't going to have the same story. So the kicker is, how do I become that open-minded person
balance
in vulnerable situations where I'm naked, figuratively? Because you can always be some kind of clothes to Uncle Ty. If I use the analogy of being clothed, like you can always have on a t-shirt and some jeans with Uncle Ty. Or you can always have on a wife beater and some shorts. So some of your skin may be showing, but you're not naked. You may get with your girl and not be open-minded because you butterball naked. I'm talking about nothing on.
Yeah.
And I've had the experience of people being like, oh my God, working with Jamal is so dope. He's so patient. He's so nice. He give great suggestions. Guess what my wife gonna say? Shiy.
Hey, look, I take it back to one of y'all lives, and she was like, "Are you gonna give me time to listen? Are you gonna give me time to do this?"
hey, take.
I was hollering because she was so calm with it. She was like, "Yeah."
Hey, she calm now because she's sick of it.
You ain't let me hear it yet. Like,
hey, and you know what? We've grown.
You done deleted it and then asked me what I think. You can't play it back.
Yeah. So, and I asked Tank that because we be dealing with real life situations where,
boy,
it's just like this. I'm gonna tell y'all what it's like. Y'all know that meme. Where they got
Sam, what's up, bro?
What up, Sam? Y'all know that meme where they got Instagram profile picture, LinkedIn profile picture, Facebook profile picture, and like Twitter or something like that. Have y'all ever seen that meme?
Mm-mm.
Like on Facebook, they got on like regular family clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like on Twitter, they got on like freaky, like half naked. On LinkedIn, they got on like a tie. And then on Instagram, they got on like whatever. Basically saying, I'm 4 different people. I'm the same person.
Yeah.
But I'm 4 different versions of myself depending on what the platform allows.
Man, look at it.
Depending on what the platform specializes in. Depending on the reputation of the platform.
That's the same thing
So,
for relationships.
I'm a family man on Facebook. I'm a businessman on LinkedIn. I'm a freak on Snapchat. And I'm a thought leader on Twitter.
That's good.
That's Tank. Tank mama. Tank girlfriend. Tank stepdaughter. He 4 different men.
Yeah.
So the question is, here's the thing. The unlock to a peaceful and joyful life is getting all 4 of those people to say the most of the same things that they possibly can at a core character level.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky.
Right. Exactly. At a core level.
Exactly right.
At a core level.
Yeah.
Real goats growing up and still now. Hey, y'all deserve a lot more flowers. Thank you, Douglas. Jonte in the building. Thank you, man.
Hey, appreciate you, bro.
So, like, Tank, that's the kind of kick I be on now. Like,
Boy, look here.
like when people be saying stuff, I'm like, I don't want, like the compliment that Jonte just gave us, right? If home, I said this the other day, Tank, if home don't say the same thing, I personally think we have failed.
I cannot disagree.
Yeah.
Like, if home don't say the same thing, man, like,
It makes no sense to get the recognition outside of where you are.
Exactly.
because you home more than I see my wife way more than I'm gonna see Jonte.
You should.
Jonte, little bro, I'm extremely grateful for his words. But if my wife don't agree, I don't think I'm too sweet. And I shouldn't rest on the high of how Jonte views me if my wife don't like me.
Or afraid of me.
Or afraid of me. Or whatever, yeah.
Can't stand to be around.
So it's like, I've been like, and it comes down to, Tank, it comes down to what you said, like, being able to put pride aside in every
Bro, look at
aspect of your life.
that is the truth.
Not picking and choosing
When to
which
have it.
situation is more comfortable
Yeah.
for you to put your pride down. Okay, this music. So if Uncle Tyrone tell me to tighten up with the metronome, I got it. But now I'm at the house with my girl. If she tell me, don't do this, who you talking to? The love is there. The respect is there. The desire for you to be better from both parties are there. But she's saying something where you more naked. So who you talking to?
Yeah, you better pull Ricky out.
Hey, but these are things that I just be like. These are things that I've been. To be honest, I'm gonna be very transparent. These are things that I've learned from missing the mark in my marriage for a long period of time on such a consistent basis. AKA, I won't sweet.
AKA, yatu.
Yatu. I'm talking about, it was bad. I don't want to be who I am to my family. What I am. Say that. Let me read his. He said,
I don't want to be who I am to my family, what I am to the people I work with. I want to be that guy at home, even if they think I'm a monster as an MD.
Same across the board.
Yeah, like you want to be.
Balance.
Yes, you want to be. Now, to my uncle's point, which is a great point. Yes, that's a great point. When I said you want all people to say the same thing about you at your core, now, at your surface, all people don't deserve the same depth of you. All people don't deserve the same access to you. But all people should say the same thing about your character.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good because you're not going to be like, just in his sense, like you're not going to be as soft with your, with
in
the
a band
people
rehearsal
in
as you are with your wife.
As you are with your wife and your
But
children.
But your band, your wife and your bandmates are going to say, yo, he goes the extra mile to be respectful, even if he has to correct something that has to be done.
Yeah.
And that's him.
And that's just who he is.
That's him all day.
That's just, it's like, hey, who I am is who I am. The levels of you that I get, the level of access that you have, the certain personality traits you may not see if you hear or hear or hear or hear. But who I am at my core is the same to all people. Which is what gives you the width and the depth to be more impactful. Yeah. So now you can go from room to room and don't have to wonder who in what room saying what thing. Like, I don't want to go no place where I'm cool over here and then when I walk in, it's quiet over here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be praised at a live recording and it's quiet in the room when I come home.
Yeah.
No, sir. I would actually rather it be quiet at the session. Yeah. To be honest with you. Because that really is just like, I do this, I make money, I pour into people, but I don't do this all day, every day. Yeah. I'm home most of my life. Way more of my life than I'm doing sessions. Yeah. So, to get to that place where we're like maturing, and it all goes back, this is all one big conversation.
I'm working, Doc.
Well, the thing is, we all are. Like, nobody, the funny thing is, nobody is at that place. And the way that I want my life to be is not a perception. I want my life to be the truth. Yeah. Like, what people see from me and what people hear from me, I don't want it to be something that I wish to happen or something that I desire to be truth, but it's not my truth. I want my overall to be the same all the way across the board. Whether I'm lecturing somebody and it's necessary or whether I'm literally counseling someone. I want who I am to be balanced all the way across the board, no matter which version of me you get.
And that it goes back to it is all so like I was saying, it's all connected from where I am, and I'm gonna speak personally, then you can speak personally, Tank can speak personally. From where I am with
To hear the story about me, I was bad. That was probably the same phone.
It was probably the same.
The same phone that no, it was a different time because we was at Glory Baptist. I was about to say the same phone that called you probably merged that call.
Oh, that.
Jesus Christ.
You're just terrible.
You know what?
You're just terrible with phones.
But you know what?
To be
That
honest.
phone has been the defining moment and pivotal moment.
Pivotal moments. Thank God for the touch screen that you can't control, and if you accidentally hit it. But we still be butt dialing on the iPhone right now. I have listened to Tank walk all around Amazon before.
I remember that, dog.
Hey, yo. Hey, Tank. Tank. No,
Car's moving.
Yeah, he mean to call me. Hey, we got Santel Reed in the building. What up,
Let's
boy?
go.
What up, Sam? So, yeah, at the end of the day, what I was saying, from the situation with Tank in the phone, all the way to, like, it takes us all the way to Band Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He could have been like, he could have said whatever he said, and it not been, we might not be doing this. Because I might have not been secure enough to continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, but it's all about communication. Personally, professionally, like, communication is the key. It made me think about Greg EP. Communication is the key. But it is.
Man.
Let me make it more crazy. Communication. Let me see. Communication is the door. To get through the door of communication, humility and vulnerability, that's the key. Because without humility and vulnerability, it's impossible to have effective communication. Because if we say communication is the key, and then I come to you and we talked, even if we argued, we communicated. It wasn't necessarily productive or effective, but we did communicate. I mean, hey, you talked, I talked. You hollered, I hollered. By the definition of communication, like, words were expressed.
Yeah.
They were heard, they were processed, and it blew up. Now, effective communication comes from, hey, I'm going to put my pride aside, and I'm going to hear your heart, and I'm going to let your heart permeate through my ego.
Yes.
Your heart. I love you so much more than I love my ego, that how you feel is more important than how you feel makes my pride feel. So what'll happen is she'll tell me something that is really true about me. I won't respond based on how my actions make her feel. I'll respond based on how she feels make my ego feels. Mm-hmm. And that's when people start being like, they give you that, what you think this is? It is you being told the truth and you tight because you ain't ready for it. That's what it is.
Skin tight.
That's what it really is. That's what it really is. Yeah. But if you go to it like Tank said, listen, these my little brothers, I've been leading them, I've been rocking with them, and I want the best for them. So even though little bro was just expressing himself, I ain't gonna take it like he was out trying to bash me because I know he wasn't. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get on this phone. First of all, Tank had the humility to ask the question, well, dang, what is the disconnect if I was not called? He was humble enough to say, even though I don't like that it happened like this, as close as they are to me, and as much as they do talk to me about, he ain't just not talking to me about it. Because he talked to me about everything else.
Boy, everything.
I'm talking about everything.
Everything under the sun.
So it's like, wait a minute. Where my ego would like to be hurt and pride would like to defend why I haven't been what they would like for me to be, wisdom says this is coming from a place where I now have to look at myself to understand how I contributed to this even being the outcome. Yeah.
And it was such an easy fix.
It was an easy fix. I cried when Tank said,
go for it, boy.
Boy, when he was like, you could have came to me, I cried because
I cried very hard because my heart said I wanted to. That's what messed me up. When I hit you hard.
You hit me. I was about to hit you back.
That head, all I see was hair move.
Hey. Hey, that's the passion thing we're talking about. I'm about to punch walls.
You ain't mean no harm. You just
I know, but it still hurt.
Yeah,
Hey, I didn't mean no harm, but it still hurt.
It did.
Hey, look.
I didn't mean any harm.
It still hurt.
But it still hurt.
Yeah, man. That's one to swallow.
Yeah.
I don't mean it.
Tank, how many times do we not take accountability for hurting people because we did not mean any harm? And we want them to accept we didn't mean any harm while ignoring that we hurt them.
Hey. True.
We want them to ignore their pain because we didn't mean no harm.
Yeah.
No, you might not have meant no harm. But
Living in
I got a bruise on this shoulder here. So I need you to apologize for bruising my shoulder. I don't care why you hit it.
Before we move on, let me say I'm sorry.
I apologize for smacking your shoulder.
But
That's how you supposed to do it.
I was excited, but
I was hyped,
the
but
excitement doesn't take away.
Doesn't take away the bruise.
Yeah,
Talk to him, Tank.
Yeah, man.
The excitement doesn't take away the bruise, y'all.
I'm in it. I get it.
Yes.
You know I'm in it.
Yes, Lord. Yes,
You know
Lord
I'm in it.
Almighty.
You know I'm in it.
You made it though, Tank. You here?
Dog,
Tank went straight to the crib last night. Hey! I'm Tank sponsor, y'all. I'm happy.
You're my sponsor, man. You're my sponsor.
Tank been asleep all day. He went and got food this morning. He went and slept. He came here. That's all he did. Yay! Hey, I'm Tank sponsor, y'all.
FaceTime me, boy. FaceTime me.
Yeah, let me see. Here.
Where you at?
Here. Hey, you remember when Ron used to do that?
Yeah.
Joe, I ain't gonna talk about that because that's another story. Ron be like, "Hey, babe, I'm here with the boys."
Hey.
He showed a hotel room. If we eat, I'm here. There go Tank.
But
There
that
go
was
Baby
Ron.
Genius. He called me Baby Genius. There go Baby Genius.
That was
hey.
Ron being accountable, man.
Yeah.
He was
Ron
being
was like, I've been through too much out here on this road. And I've made my mistakes.
I learned from Clark.
And I made it right with my wife. So I've messed up so much that if she need to see where I'm at to feel secure, I owe her that.
Clark was that guy, man.
Here go the boys. You see where we at? We at Buffalo Wild Wings. I do got a little drink, but I'm safe. They driving. See, Tank car. We on Tank car. No real life, babe. I ain't driving though. And those little things, man, those little things are important because Tank, because what about this? When you the man professionally, sometimes it can make you cut up at home.
Look at.
Cause you want your girl, your wife, to look at you like the little bros do, and she like, boy, please.
Hey, look, you can be world famous all the way around this world. When you walk through that door,
Let me tell you something. When Jamario Artist walk in his mama door, and his aunt in there,
Oh my God.
he is not Bruno Mars bass player at all. It'd be hilarious.
He is Mario.
Yes.
Mario.
Hey, he's still taking the trash out, everything, man.
Hey,
Hey,
look.
it'd be funny, man. I'm like, yo, and it's the same with all of us. Like even Bruno Mars is Peter Hernandez to his mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Jean.
Hey, so I'm saying that to say like we are the most vulnerable, stripped down versions of ourselves at home.
Boy, look
And
at
if we can master being a good person at home, professionally, we'll be all right. Because it'll just be an offspring.
I'm working, building on a building. That's a line for you. Building on a building.
Building on a building. Yes, sir.
Building. Yeah.
Yes. So, like, yeah, that's the vibes.
Hey, look, man. I'm ever growing.
Yes,
so
we all are, Tank. Everybody watching
it's,
and everybody in this room.
It's a process.
It is.
It's a process. This has been a weekend.
Yeah, Tank.
It's been a weekend.
Tank, you been, I don't know how often you gonna be coming, but it always be like real pivotal.
Man,
It always be like on some
bro.
revelation or something, like intervention.
It's divine.
Talk, Tank. Oh my God, we could talk about that too.
Bro, it's
like covenant with people, like divine relationships and having a real covenant with people, and like being in an environment that does not reinforce your bad behavior,
but has the ability to correct the bad behavior.
Yes, man.
Like
in such a way that you want to receive it.
That you want to be better. You like, you know what? Like after you said Tank was tight. Okay, let's set the record straight. Before you called, babe, before you talked to Tank, he was in the clouds. I'm talking about
the mighty clouds.
I'm talking about he had just took off too. I'm talking about he was pew. Like before you did my hair, Tank took off, dog. Pew, he was up there, dog. Jet. He was straight up in the air. I said, Lord, I'm in trouble. Lord, I'm responsible. I think we done lost control. I think we gone, Lord Jesus. I think we gone. So when you doing my hair, and then you said that, I said, oh, we might get landed. But the funny thing is, we landed him. As soon as you said it, I felt his spirit change. And he brought it on back, and I said, woo.
Now, you know what?
Woo.
Sis she had a perspective. And this is where checking your ego, checking your emotions, and listening, like hearing what somebody had to say. Anytime you're in an uproar, because I ain't gonna front, I was tight, boy. I was tighter than the stripper shoes, boy. I was
good. The Mercedes experience.
Hey, Doc.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you know, you know. The Mercedes experience. If you know, you know.
But it took.
Good gracious.
Chris Dawn said, "Yikes!" Because you know, yes, you do.
Man,
yes, you do.
That right there, but nah, sis just had a way with words.
Yeah,
and I, being in Tank mode, had to shut Tank up and listen with Ricky for a second.
Yeah, he had to put the Ricky ears on.
And just realize that, even though you may feel like you have valid points to stand on, someone else has valid points too. And it's nothing if you don't take that time to hear those valid points of other people.
That's good, brother.
So after her, calmly.
I mean, she was still small voice to Tank. I mean, she was really the Holy Spirit. Because
she took me down by the quiet stream.
Because I'm telling you, boy, he wasn't at the quiet stream.
Well,
he was at the loud strip club. Oh, Jesus. With the tight stripper shoes. He was there. He was at the door, and he was finna walk in.
The volcano.
He was. I'm talking about. He was at the door. He was like 3 more people. He was finna get his $5. And then you called. Lord, you saved him. He was finna give his admission.
Bro.
He was, man. That joke was crazy. I said, when I got off the phone with Tank, I was like,
she just reminded me of some things.
Mm-hmm.
And gave a better alternative. Like, I will say, if people will learn to give an alternative after they give advice, that helps. For me.
Explain.
So, sometimes we have our thoughts on how things should be and how it should go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our thoughts. And then someone wants to come in and correct your thoughts. They want to do this. But all they've given you is the correction. But don't give you no structure or a guide to have another alternative for how to do it.
Let me tell you something. Do you know me and my wife's biggest issues have been, because it's like, I didn't have nothing but problems. I ain't have solutions. Let me tell you why I didn't have nothing but problems, Tank. Because I only could tell her how she made my ego feel. So if I can only explain to you how my ego feel, I ain't got no solutions. Because I ain't thought past the bruised ego. Mm-hmm. So it takes the woosah to see the totality of the whole situation. Because that's where we mess up at, Tank.
Yeah.
Like, if we've been together for 1 year, 5 years,
10, let's say 10 years, because 10 is a good number that everybody understands. If I've taken, I'm going to do it with my fingers. If I've taken my wife through 8 years of hell, and I've been decent for the last 2, but I want her to respond to me as if the other 8 didn't happen because of my effort in the last 2, I ain't looking at the whole 10 years. So I'm trying to force her not to. No, nigga. Them 8 years, boy, you was powwowing her. You had her at the crib with her face in the pillowcase wet up.
Yeah.
For 8 of them boys. And you've been bi-monthly for 2 years. So really only a year.
You've been month to month.
Month to every other month.
How this month going?
Right.
Hey. And she like, I see you. I see the growth. I'm happy for it. But I have to heal from the 8. Mm-hmm. And you want me to forget the 8 to pretend like the 2 is all I need to think about? Yeah. My emotions, my ego, my self-esteem is tied up in the 8. So truly speaking, you need to give her 8. Truly speaking, you need to give her a solid 8 back. Yeah. Then we can renegotiate the contract. now we can renegotiate. Yo, cause Tank, we be doing.
Hey, bro.
I don't know how women are, but I just know how men are. Yeah, I dogged you out, but I dogged you out for 8 months. But these last 30 days, I ain't talked to no other girl. Shiy, what a... I don't know that. Because you could have got better at lying. You done failed so much, you might got a calculator on your phone. You might got a burner that you keep on the bus. I don't know.
Stupid.
Take the bus burner. You might have a bus burner and a calculator app. You might not have stopped.
Yes.
You might just got better. So I don't know that. I need 8 good solid whole months. I need to be able to do. You know how to do random. You know how to do random drug tests. I need to be able to do random phone tests every day for the next 8 months, and we might can renegotiate. Because if you got a burner, you can keep the home phone clean. See, so I can do the check, and you can still have a burner.
Not the bus burner.
You can still have a bus burner, man. Hey, dudes be out here. Yeah. Man, you want to speak for the ladies?
Women do the same stuff. Women do the same,
slick.
but
they slicker than
to
us
be
too.
honest,
way slicker.
Sorry, ladies, but to be honest, like we kind of do it a little bit better than y'all do, because
thanks, Mom.
It's one of those things where now I'm ashamed to even talk. Your mama don't. Hey, Miss Cynthia.
She loves.
She know the truth.
She know what time, boy.
Yo,
she
know.
What? But she know what time it is.
I love your mama so
King,
much.
what up, bro?
Oh my God.
She know the truth.
Thank you, Mom. Hit it.
But no, like women have a way of doing things where the only way we would either get caught is if we wanted to. Sometimes. And then you also have women who respond to life like men who get caught anyway because they just do what they want to do in general. But at the end of the day, all of that boils down to the inner person and what that person has been through in their life. And what people fail to understand, and some stuff that I've learned from your mama, even Tank, just from observing her and just being around her. It's okay. It's like,
babe, make sure the mic's sweet.
It's okay to be soft spoken, and it's okay to voice your opinion in a very soft spoken way. I understand from your mama that it's more respected when you hear the heart in a person's voice. And I never told her this, but I only had a little bit of time to be around Miss Cynthia, but when I tell y'all I learn from watching people, I learn and I observe. But your mama can cut somebody in the sweetest way and start with baby.
When she say baby, you finna get sliced.
I was
talking
like,
about good clean slice take.
y'all, and this was every bit of at least 12 years ago
Yeah,
for a small portion of time.
yeah. It was only a little window of time.
But back to what I was saying, like, you have to understand the inner person of who you're talking to, who you're dealing with. Because people be struggling and don't even know they're struggling sometimes. Like, you can have an issue with this person or anybody, and all you see is what they have done to you, and not how they're hurting on the inside. Stuff like that I pay attention to, because I know what it's like to make a mistake and somebody scream and yell and throw and project their opinions onto me and don't even know what I got going on my end. So I've learned just to be mindful of other people, ask questions. Y'all, I ask more questions than I do giving suggestions.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Then you have better advice because you have
greater
way more context.
understanding.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of always being the person that got something to say and don't know nothing about nobody?
Facts.
How valuable is your opinion?
Golly.
How accurate is your solution?
Yeah. To the problem that you don't even fully understand, if you know it at all. You don't know it because you ain't listening, but you got to answer.
Honestly, it's a senseless thing and it's a mindless thing.
And it's a selfish thing.
It's a selfish thing. And once you become selfless for other people, you get a better understanding and you can help them more.
I'll even go, it's more painful than helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
I would even go as far to say, this is going to be a stretch. So I need Tank and Shiy to debunk me if they need to, because what I'm about to say, I could be totally wrong. A part of me feel like I'm right, then a part of me feel like it's way left field. Mm-hmm. You know how people say, it may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. Mm-hmm. If I marry you, your trauma ain't my fault. Yeah. But me committing to you has made your trauma my responsibility.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So I can't say, that happened before me. I don't know what to tell her. But what she better do is, no. You said yes to her. To death do you part. She came with bags. The bags come in the house too.
They don't sit
Tank,
outside.
if I pick you up from the airport,
hey, Doc,
and you got luggage,
you better take it.
it got to come with us, man. You brought it. You pack it with you.
I gotta change clothes sometimes.
Listen, now, if we get Tank's luggage in the house, because he brought all he had with him, because he's moving. I picked Tank up from the airport because he's moving to a new state. And he just had to go ahead and pack everything real fast so I could come pick him up. Now, we could get to where Tank is going, and we say, unpack your bag, bro. That shirt is actually too little for you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, too tight.
Those shoes you should keep. That jacket you should probably give away. I see marriage and relationships being that way. Not, what you bring all that in here for? You don't really need it. The too little shirt. Well, my mom bought me this name brand shirt when I was 7 years old, and she couldn't really afford it. So because of what it means to me and what it took for her to buy it, I never got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now I think you should keep it too.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I understand why you have it, I think you should keep it too.
Yeah.
Now, what about them shoes? Well, I just packed them because I brought all my shoes with me. Throw them away.
Throw them in the trash.
Look here.
But Tank, I'm understanding the luggage before I'm instructing you on what to do with it.
Yeah.
But if I committed to picking you up from the airport and saying you could be my roommate, I'm responsible for you and your luggage.
Yeah.
Because I've said yes.
Yeah.
I said yes to, if you moving with me, we're going to be roommates. I'm picking you up from the airport. I'm responsible for your luggage. Because I said yes.
Yeah.
Some of it we do need to get rid of. But let's have the conversation to understand what each piece is for and make a collective decision on what's best.
Look at them shoes got to go. Them aglets is wrong on your shoestring.
Oh my God.
Them aglets ain't there. And you need to take. No, I'm just playing. Nah, that's true, man. You gotta be willing to deal with it.
Yeah.
And yeah. Good word, bro. There's no debunking on that. That's a good word.
Okay.
That's a good
Because
word.
I was thinking like, well, maybe.
Not
maybe,
for me.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, because
No,
I
you
was
did
thinking like,
good.
maybe, because some people be like, nah, that happened before me, or I ain't got time for that, or I ain't signed up for this.
No, I mean, if that's the case, what's the point of a commitment? Like, what's the point? What's the point of a commitment? At the end of the day, you signed up for what this person comes with, whether you want to or not. The best thing that you guys can do is communicate and fully, like, go back to your childhood.
Yeah, unpack the luggage together.
Yeah, literally.
Unpack the luggage together.
Go back to the painful things that you try to forget and throw out of your mind.
Because it's still
So they
affecting
can
you.
so there can be understanding as to why you do things this way, why you respond this way when I say this, why you close and shut down when all I said was blah, 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 blah. You get greater and better understanding when you unpack boxes.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And if you do it early enough,
They won't pile up.
not just that. If you do it early enough, you'll understand, or y'all can come to a common agreement and say, well, hey, your baggage and my baggage are too much for each other. Unless we can get counseling, unless we can get help, it doesn't make sense for us to be together. Because at the end of the day, you want your relationship to be successful. And the best way for that to happen is to tear all the tape apart and all the wrapping paper, all of the stuff that looks good, throw it away and present every piece of ugly, good, bad, happy, sad, every single thing, reveal it. And you'll find out whether or not it's necessary or if it's worth the time or the effort. That's how that works.
And we're going to put her cash up.
Facts. The baby registry is up right now.
That baby
registry. Please buy something from her. She just blessed us good. The baby registry is in the description.
Give.
Jess, can you put it in the comments?
Give.
She can. Put the registry in the comments. You definitely,
You
because
can't
that's
copy
good.
It's in the title thing on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't copy that link.
So yeah, that's the vibes, y'all. Like, that's good, babe.
Yeah, that's
So in the you're
it.
saying in the beginning stages.
Literally in the beginning stages.
But what
like,
if what okay. What if you're going through that and a person is unaware? Like, what if they're acting a certain way based on some things that they are not sure about, so they can't be transparent about it?
That's
How
when
you handle that?
two people have to be willing to be receptive. And that's why I say ask questions. The reason I say that is because you can ask a person a series of questions that can get them to the answer. Just by going back into their childhood, going back into different experiences there, if they're willing to be honest about
So
it.
boy, the two-way street is so strong.
Yeah.
Like y'all both, it literally has to be a mutual decision.
Yeah.
To
I mean,
walk
it was a
out.
mutual decision to get together.
Yeah.
It should be a mutual decision to make it work. And
So,
that's the only way.
Which brings Tank. This is another one.
I'm listening.
When people commit to each other,
What are
what
they
are their intentions?
committing to? What are you committing
like
to?
what you in it for? You in it just to smash? You in it just
For opportunity?
like say that? Cause don't act like you committed to me and then you find out something you don't like and now you throw me to the wolves.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we've grown to a place where I thought this would be safe.
Mm.
You've led me to believe that I'm safe.
Mm.
And then you learn something that doesn't feel good to you and now you out,
Yeah.
which can make a person retreat
Oh,
or
yeah.
relapse.
Well, yes.
I'm Tank sponsor, y'all. I'm Tank sponsor. So I'm
Well,
using
yes.
I'm using those terms, Tank. Hey.
You got your 6-month card.
yeah, the token.
You got your chip.
Your
You got
chip.
Tank.
Yeah, because it's real life and it's like
Man.
not making it is a journey.
It is. It really is. You literally have to see your person in the state they're in, but also know the person that they are going to be.
And if you can't see that, if you're unable to see that because of how hurt you are, that means you need to figure out why you so hurt that you can't see.
This is good, guys.
This is so heavy, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
If your hurt has you that blind,
Y'all starting a relationship podcast tonight? God,
Tank, we start that. Tank, you want to know what's crazy?
We started that first.
When I told you we was in that rocky spot and tried the first podcast, that's what it was going to be. So it has to end up being. We're gonna do that too. We have to. We
Yeah.
just do it on here and then just I don't know.
These are candid moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like, but Tank, we've been through so much.
Well,
And
look here.
you know me. You watch me. You practically raised me, and you know I wasn't ready for marriage because
Not practically.
you saw me from the age of 12 years old all the way to 18, 19 when I got married. You literally have been there every step of my life. You know, to be honest, none of us were really built like that.
Boy,
And what's happening is we starting to realize that we ain't built like that.
bro, you start to realize that there was elements of our lives that were stronger than others.
Yes.
And we
We were amazing on stage, Tank.
took the time to nurture that, and the other things kind of went lacking. And then the things that were going lacking, we started building baggage of hurt, deceit, problems that we may just didn't want to deal with. So now we're still amazing on stage, but we're carrying all this, and it's steady growing, steady growing, steady growing, steady growing. And then we get to this age, and now we're trying to maneuver and realizing that, man,
We missing.
there was so much stuff. My therapist, boy, there was so much
Tank,
stuff.
talk about that and we're going to leave. I'm going to give Tank 10 minutes because
Ah.
I'm going to give Tank 10 minutes because we normally leave at 9:30 unless I'm at band edition with y'all for 4 hours.
Boy,
So
7 hours.
Kylie, but Tank, for the last 15 minutes, just talk about that because you are a good example of not knowing what you didn't know.
What?
You didn't know what you didn't know.
Man.
What made you go to a therapist, and how did you start to learn what you didn't know?
Therapy and the therapist. Shout out to Rosemary Bomber. What up?
Let's go.
I think I see you on Tuesday. Praise the Lord. It was rock bottom when the idea of suicide was the out for me. Literally the idea of, you know what? I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a rock bottom because anyone that knows me, when you're around me, depending on my area, I'm either the life or the party, or I'm just chill. One of the two. And at this point, I was neither. I was just at that point where, hey, nobody needs me here. They'll be all right. Y'all figure it out. And it was just bad. And so having, I am a proud gun owner. I have my license. For those that need to know, I own one. To have someone come and take it, and now you're in a position where they're concerned, they won't let you leave, you can't go anywhere. And I had a gig when this time was really, really heavy. I had to go to Detroit, and I was driving because anyone that know me, I'll drive. And while driving, to have an hourly check-in, consistent someone present and with me, like, hey, are you good? Are you good? I knew then it was time for a change. So, thanks to that wonderful insurance we talked about earlier, I made some
full
phone
circle.
calls. Yeah,
About the driving and the insurance.
yeah. So I made the call, and I knew that if I didn't find some help to deal with whatever it is, because again, I don't know. I'm not realizing that. What am I? 38 now. So let's give it 7 to 37 years of things I'm unaware of, whether it be my childhood, whether it be the mindset I had while having the guys with me, because again, I'm still carrying stuff from not just me, but from other people. Concepts of what I could have been, or other mindset of what I should have been. All this started weighing in, and for me, I have a support system of people. And so I make people that are monumental in my life pillars, right? So I made people pillars, and I just happened to lose a pillar. And when the pillar caved, I caved. And so now I'm caving off of losing a pillar, along with all this other stuff. I don't know what it is, but I know the weight is just there. So now my pillar's gone, and the weight I normally have been ignoring since from 7 to 37 is now kicking in, saying, yo, you ain't got to be here. Don't worry about it. So at that point, taking my life was the biggest thing, but at the same time, it wasn't necessary. So here comes the therapist, and day one with the therapist, I learned that, I'm fighting a battle of two identities, and with that being said, my identities were wrapped up in one that didn't give the other identity time to build and to deal with what was coming. So she challenged me to figure out who am I? Why am I in this place? What am I feeling? What has caused these feelings? And with her, I was able to go back and start, like they've been talking about this baggage, your luggage. I really started going through luggage and seeing what was laying in there. And boy, when I tell you, I had some sneakers that was stinking. I had some t-shirts that was molded.
Yeah.
And the stench of this stuff was starting to leak through my personality and how I would handle things. So if I felt some way about how I was when I was 6 or 7 or 10 or 13, if you said something to me, I'm reacting because that emotion is finally getting a chance to leak through, because it's finally starting to show, because so many things are starting to happen. And so she was like, "Yeah, we gotta unearth this. We gotta take it out of these bags, and we gonna look at it." Okay, that's what that is. At this present moment in your life, is it serving you any purpose? No. Let it go. Be done with it. And so she really just kind of opened that door for me to start being able to throw away the stuff that I did not need to hold on to.
Yeah.
That was causing me to be toxic. That was causing me to react in a certain manner, because my reactions weren't based off what my situation was. My actions were based off what I've been holding on to, and I haven't reacted from it. So now I get a chance to react, and it says, take that. And that reaction hurts people. That causes people to retreat. And the people that retreat are your pillars. And when you lose a pillar, even more comes out, which again leads to the suicide thoughts, and just trying to move forward. So my therapist definitely just got me to unravel some things. I'm still unraveling.
Yeah.
And still making amends with myself. Saying that it was okay that I had those feelings. And when I say it was okay, I had those feelings because I was human. I didn't acknowledge that mad moment. I didn't acknowledge that hurt moment. Now I can acknowledge it and say, you know what? It was there. Cool. I'm moving forward. Positive thinking and moving forward. So for me, the therapist really just had me open my eyes to take that in-depth look at myself. The same way Sis was talking about talking to your person and taking that in-depth look, I got to look at myself the same way. And so just being able to look in and let her just tear some stuff down that I probably wouldn't even allow anyone to get close to. Because again, for years I've been in this leadership position. I've been that guy. I've been
the popular guy.
The one that everybody comes to.
Yes.
For everything.
And I'm like, I held it, and it got to a breaking point. And it's funny, like you said before, it's a circle, right? My circle is I have a breaking point, I lose my pillar, but if you keep going around that circle, why did it happen? Because I was holding on to something. And that stuff I was holding on to led to my actions, led to me mistreating that pillar, and that pillar bounced. And now I'm broken all over again. So I had to break the cycle of what that was and realize that, I got to change. And the change came from being with the therapist. And again, that may not be I say it vividly and out loud to anyone. That may not be for you. It may not be. But for me, it worked.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity for me to talk and express what I was feeling when I felt like I couldn't talk and express anyone else. So I recommend it if that's something you're interested in, because you have to get it off of you. If you don't get it off of you, it's gonna pull a number in your life like it pulled on mine, and it started tearing away key things, key people in my life. And once that started happening, not only do you lose it, and you lose it, now you end up struggling a battle within yourself, and then you have a new struggle of trying to repair it and trying to figure out how to repair stuff while you're in a repairing mode as well. And so it's a lot that goes into just talking, getting it off, and like she said, getting it early. So for those who are in that predicament, go early. 37 is when I started. So you can imagine how many years I have started to unpack, and when I tell you my feet feel like
man. And I think it's important too, like when we say go early, I would even suggest, even if it don't feel like nothing wrong, go. Because you could be, sometimes we operate from places and spaces that we don't know, where it ain't rearing its ugly head yet, but it's because we haven't put ourselves in a position where that button is pushed yet.
You need to check in.
Yeah, just get a tune up. Just go see, like, hey, everything has been cool. I deal with these things, but they haven't really been big. But I'm thinking about this business venture, or I'm thinking about getting married, and I know what it takes to be in committed relationships professionally and personally. So I just wanted to make sure. Hey, I just want to talk to you, and let's see what comes out, so I can
get that tone up.
Get a head up. Get it.
Get that tone up. If that's for you, I gotta say that, because a lot of people will feel like I'm trying to pressure you. I'm not trying to pressure you.
Yeah.
But if you have those moments and you're sitting by yourself and you catch yourself just dazed. A lot of times, I'm daydreaming. Nah, sometimes you just can't figure it out, and you just there stuck in a rut. Those be those moments. Because I've actually had those moments and didn't realize what they were.
Wow, you weren't even able to identify
I
that you were in a place of being lost, and you thought you were daydreaming.
Yeah, I just thought I just had a space and time, but that was really my body saying, "Yo, something ain't right."
Ooh. So Tank is explaining signs. So these are signs that you may need to talk to someone. The weight, and the being out of mind at random times of the day. You chilling with you with your people, you watching TV, and then all of a sudden you just ain't here.
Yeah, sometimes you check out because you've been weighted.
So your body and your mind is trying to rest.
Yeah.
Look here.
So it takes you into what you perceive as a daydream.
Hey, look.
That's heavy.
System overload.
Facts. We're gonna freeze.
Yeah, and if it gets to a
preserve the hard
point,
drive.
if it gets to a point where you find yourself daydreaming more than you do living, then really, 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 really consider getting help from someone.
If you spend more hours in a day daydreaming
than you do living,
that may be a sign to talk to someone. Yeah.
It ain't always that I've been in this. You in a low point right now, dog.
Yeah, they ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you to get help.
Yeah.
I'm serious
politically correct because of our leadership roles for so long.
I understand what it is, not to want to project anything on anybody, but
we all need help. So it ain't even
in the sense of you're daydreaming more than you are living. That alone says, yo, something ain't right.
Yeah, that's good.
You gotta get help. Talk to at least somebody that you trust. If you can't afford to get to a therapist at the moment,
that's good.
Talk to someone that you really, really trust, but make sure
they can really, really be trusted.
They can be trusted and they can help you.
Look.
Oh yeah, because some people can listen, but they can't help.
Yeah, like you have some people that are in the same boat as you.
Look here.
And you're entrusting in them to help you.
And they ain't
in a low place, and they in a low place too.
Their advice to you is to go lay down and go to sleep.
Go take a nap. Hey, go drink some ginger ale.
Yeah, orange
got a
juice.
flesh wound deep in the, I don't know what. They telling you go to drink some ginger ale.
Yeah, no.
Bleeding.
Go take a nap.
You gotta know who you can get help from. To search.
It's there.
Pay attention.
It is there.
It's there. You gotta look for it.
Yeah. But yeah, don't sit in silence. And don't think nobody cares, because someone does.
Absolutely.
And don't think nobody understands. You're in this alone. Nobody would understand what I'm going through.
You'd be surprised how many people are dealing with the exact same thing.
God knows.
I am a
living testimony.
Yeah.
Living witness and living testimony that it's okay to open up to the right person, and you'll find out that you're not alone.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
You're never alone.
I will say this though. If you know that you're in a place of like depression and your go-to person is also constantly in a place of depression, that might not be a good outlet.
Might not be a go-to person.
Exactly. It just may be a person that's in the same boat as you. You have to get to a person who can help.
Absolutely.
Not who can fill your flesh wound.
Or they feel my pain.
Exactly.
Yes. We can't
And
feel
it
the pain.
feel-
Somebody gotta change it.
It feels good to have somebody who understands you in that way sometimes, but it's not healthy to be understood. It's more so healthy to get understanding on how to be better.
Because what we're doing is we're just comparing and conversing wounds.
Yes.
and ain't nobody there to heal him.
You see yours?
You see how deep my cut is?
Yeah, it's the same way.
Yeah,
right
man,
there.
you see that blood though?
Man, it's coming out there. You
Oh,
go,
but no, what about this one though? On my neck.
dog, I found the same one this morning.
Y'all both bleeding out. Look, tell y'all like here. What about that one on my knee? Tay, we bleeding out, dog.
All right, so who gonna go? Who gonna get
Who
their band-aids?
gonna get a medic?
Who
Who gonna
gonna
be the
call?
medic?
Who
Who
gonna
gonna
call
call
911?
911?
What's 911 number?
Oh
Can't
my
nobody
What's the
tell.
number to 911?
What's the number to
Somebody need to call that
911?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, get help. And if you know someone that's in that state, and if they're willing to allow you to help them, help them.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
They
talk
have to get to
just,
the place where they.
Well, honestly, sometimes being a good person means getting the help for another person if they're close enough to you. Like, if I know someone that can help you, I'm going to say to you, hey, here's a number. If you ever want to talk to somebody who can understand what you're going through and can help you get through it, call this number. So at least you're there to bear a solution and not just watch them drown. I know some people be like, well, that ain't really my responsibility.
But when you're in covenant with somebody, whether it's a brotherhood, a friendship, or a marriage, you say yes to them, bro. You committed to people. Unless they are cordial people that you only deal with to get things done. Them people.
No. No.
But when you commit to doing life with somebody, Jay, I prayed about it. Boom, 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 Jay.
Yes, sir.
But when you're in covenant with somebody, it ain't your fault, but you say yes to that person.
Yeah.
All of them. So.
Absolutely.
Y'all, this has been amazing. We love y'all. Tank, thank you for hanging with us this weekend. Tank came yesterday for Band Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Tank comes for multiple days, unless he pick up a gig, he gonna be here like every night of them days.
Yeah.
Unless he be like, okay, I'm gonna do this gig or whatever, he gonna be here a lot. So,
chilling, man.
so yeah, this
Family and home.
Yes, this is definitely home. So we love y'all. We thank y'all for hanging with us. You want me to say your spiel, babe?
Yep, go ahead.
Y'all don't have to do what y'all do, but y'all do it. Y'all show up every night. Y'all invest in us, your time.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. I just interrupted the whole tag.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Y'all don't have to,
Take two.
but y'all do. And like, we are extremely grateful. Like, we have all, Tank included, we have all been blown away with the feedback, Tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, people coming to us about, like, even just like, you're doing a great job, or with Tank, I feel what you're going through. It's like, we just doing what we do, and we're working together to do it. So like,
absolutely,
when y'all give us that feedback, it'd be like, dang. So we appreciate it. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all taking y'all time, spending y'all money. Yeah, everything that y'all do for us, we're extremely grateful, and we love y'all.
Yeah, so just keep riding with us. We going somewhere. We don't know exactly where yet, but we're headed somewhere great. And shut up, Tank.
No, it ain't you. I was about to
And-
say, Dumbo fashion. He just getting.
In Brit fashion, he would get here when the gig is over.
But since he's here,
We are so proud of you,
proud
dog.
of you, bro.
Absolutely.
We are. Damo just came in. His podcast dropped tonight.
Yes, it did.
I mean yesterday. What's it tonight?
Today.
It's today.
This morning.
And I'm
tomorrow.
agreeing
Go
with
get
you.
some
I'm about to
grease,
go
man.
get my food.
Get you some grease.
We
Get some
love
grease.
y'all. Damo, we are proud of you.
Very,
bro.
very proud.
Yo, his podcast dropped this morning, RXS Entertainment. His podcast is called The Road to Self-Discovery. Y'all go check that out. He told his story and what he went through to get to where he is, and what he
Y'all,
was willing
great
to
great
do
story.
and sacrifice to get there. So we love y'all. Peace.